tell y'all? You tuning into the best morning show on the globe. It's Brad and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Radom and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all pin Tiffy, I'm Ken Griffey or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing, Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SP, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Radom and Emery.
Yes, sir. You know the vibes. Bradman in the morning. Marques, Brad, Justin, Emery.
Yo.
There you are.
What up, man? I got a lot going on over here
welcome
right
in.
now. Thank you. Yeah, today's National Tortilla Day. I'm sorry, National Tortilla Chip Day. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm about to say tortillas.
Tortilla chip day.
By themselves. But there are people that eat tortillas by themselves as like a snack. I don't know.
I don't.
People.
But
I'm not doing that. There better be some seasoned beef in there, some cheese, some lettuce. Tortilla chips are good. I'll actually eat, like, I know most people do it with salsa or queso, which I'll like to do, but I'll actually take them to the head just by themselves. Especially I'm really into the lime ones.
Oh, yeah.
Those limes are like the hint of lime. Got to be the hint of lime. You don't want to overwhelm the lime. Those hint of lime ones are clutch.
I feel like they just want us to go to the cantina. Like, was it Monday was margaritas, today's tortilla chip day.
Right.
I think they're telling us what they want us to do.
They're telling us something. I mean, I'm not mad at any of those options.
Not at all.
Have you ever been in the place up in it's like 20 minutes from here in North Wales. I forget the name of it, where you can only get the 2 margaritas. They only serve you 2 margaritas because they're so strong. They only give you 2.
No.
It's oh man, I can't think of the name of it. It's like it's right up in like right when you get to North Wales, which is like 25 minutes from here. It's they have really good homemade salsa. You know what actually has really good homemade salsa? The Giant.
Giant.
Giant's homemade
Giant salsa is phenomenal.
Is insane. Like I love the original, their Southwest. It's so good.
I like their mango salsa too.
Ooh, I haven't had that. I haven't tried that.
Yeah, you like mangoes?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And their queso is dynamite also.
I've never had their queso.
Yeah,
I've had their salsa.
They have
a couple different kinds.
Yeah, they have delicious queso. They have the spicy, non-spicy. So yeah, it's really, really good stuff. But
there's not really. I was kind of unimpressed with the facts today. Just a lot of like.
Can all be winners.
Like a lot of historical war facts. Like
yeah, it can't all be winners.
I'm not a high school history teacher.
Right.
Yeah.
So we do need to talk about what happened yesterday morning. Sad news. Tiger Woods was involved in a very serious car accident. Apparently this morning it was released that he was speeding on his way to an appointment and lost control of his vehicle, and it flipped. Obviously you hate to see something like that happen to anybody. It's just interesting to me that someone who's been so successful has also had like a lot of adversity in his professional career. Like some of it created by himself.
Most of it.
Yeah.
Nearly all of it.
But I mean this is hopefully obvious for his health and recovery. Number one, golf obviously is secondary to health. I don't want to listen. A lot of people are already putting the death nails in his career. I don't want to do that yet, just for the fact that like we just don't know. Like I think after what I saw Alex Smith do, I don't think I could ever say never again. Tiger did unfortunately have to get some pins and rods into his leg. The back was affected. I don't think we know how much the back was affected as of right now. And that the back already was an issue for him earlier in his career. Really, again, in the back was a self-inflicted wound, really, because he just put too much stress on his back. He decided to really get into like military training and bulked up and was running like crazy amounts of miles in like combat boots, like just insane type of things. And remember, Tiger Woods about 12, 13 years ago, how big he got, like out of nowhere. He was like jacked.
He was huge.
Yeah, you can't, like, that's not, like, he didn't
but
have
now
a
you see
body
a
anymore.
ton of golfers that are built like that.
Well, I wanted to get into his legacy a little bit about what, like, if this is the end of his legacy. And there's two things for me that is Tiger Woods. Well, I'll say three things. Number one, Tiger Woods at times dominated a sport that you've never seen dominated before.
Yeah.
Which is something that goes without saying. Like, golf is not something you see people just you go into it knowing, okay, he's going to win this tournament. Another thing for me, another takeaway is that Tiger Woods made people care about golf that never cared about golf before. I know me being one of them. Like, do you know how many times that I've turned the television on and golf on, I just flipped immediately. But it was just something about Tiger Woods. I'm sure me being a black man, I think that had something to do with it also. But, like, there's something about him just from a charismatic standpoint that made you want to watch him and just drew you to him. And, you really were into whenever he played. Whenever Tiger Woods was in the lead or, close to the lead on Sunday afternoon, people were watching. I remember the last Masters he won. Amber came out and she's like, I've literally never seen you watch golf before. I was like, Tiger has shot to win the Masters. This house is shut down for the next 3 hours. Like we're watching this. And, like, it's amazing because, like, I don't care about golf at all. But, like, it was something about that man whenever he got close to winning or was approaching or whatever. It was amazing watching him. Even, like, watching Tiger Woods drive a ball was unlike anything you've ever seen. The sound that it made, the way it looked, it was very different than golfers predicated before him. The last thing is, and you just alluded to it, is that I think Tiger Woods, his biggest legacy, in my opinion, is he will go down as the guy who made people who were athletic and could have done other things play golf. Like, you're seeing guys like after Tiger Woods effect who could do other things. They're like athletes. They could have played other sports because other thing. They chose golf because of Tiger Woods. And, like, I don't think that before Tiger, you saw guys who could have done many other things playing anything else but golf. Golf is I'm not saying you don't have to be athletic to play golf, but it's a very specific skill set. And typically, golfers aren't guys that were elite in, like, football or basketball or baseball or whatever. They were more golf was their thing. So Tiger, like, the Rory McIlroys and, that generation, all those guys like that, they were the effects of the Tiger Woods generation, of a bunch of guys who could have done other things, but they watched Tiger when they were younger, so guess what? They got into golf, and they decided to play golf instead of doing everything else. So, I mean, for me, like, obviously I hope for his recovery. Selfishly speaking, I hope his career's not over because, like, who wants to go out this way and having, an injury decided for you, especially in a sport like golf. Because golf is, you look at, Jack Nicklaus's and guys, the Arnold Palmers, they play on the senior tour until their 80s. Golf is a sport you can play for a long period of time. And Tiger, it's unfortunate because he's just starting to now kind of get, like, the last couple of years was the first time you really saw glimpses of the old Tiger. And he was just starting to get over all those back injuries. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he had 2 back surgeries, maybe even more than that. All throughout the 2010s, it was just a struggle for him to even get to a course and compete. You saw him trying to compete, the grimaces and all that stuff, and it seemed like now we were finally starting to get on the right track. He had restored his image after all of the stuff that happened with the cheating scandals and all of that stuff. Like, I think people had kind of moved on from that, and he was kind of moving on to the second half of his career. So it's just unfortunate that happened, but it's thoughts and prayers definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's very few things in sports that you knew were just dominant. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, you didn't want to see Mariano Rivera in the 9th inning at Yankee Stadium.
No.
Didn't want to see that. Like, you knew what was going to happen.
You knew that cutter's coming.
You knew it was coming.
Yeah.
You did not want to see, you didn't want to go to New England in the playoffs.
Right.
You knew what was going to happen. It was
right.
going to be cold. It was going to be snowy.
Right.
And you had the hoodie up there. You didn't want to deal with that.
No.
Playoff Rondo. No matter what he does during the season.
Yeah.
come the playoffs, if Rondo's team is in the playoffs, he's coming for you.
It's going down.
He's coming for you.
It's going down.
Tiger coming out with the red polo, the red Nike polo on Sundays.
And the black Nike hat.
The black Nike hat. You
Black
knew
slacks.
what was going to happen.
Yeah, you knew it.
Like you saw him come out with the red shirt.
Yeah, you're like, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a dub. Yeah, and when he was within a couple strokes or had a couple strokes, you just knew it was okay. This is gonna be done. And I mean, his run from like 1999, like 2004, was absolutely insanity.
Like we always say on the show that you got to separate the athlete from the person.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's notoriously not necessarily the nicest guy in the world. Okay, but I don't care.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter. He is, as far as dominant athletes go, he's in the category of top 3 to 5 all time across any sport.
yeah. I mean, he's kind of, to me, I put him in a room with Serena Williams.
She's on my list too.
He's
Like,
in that room.
Here's the top 5 that I have on that list.
Okay.
I have Tiger, and we're just talking pure just dominance across any sport. Tiger, Venus. I'm sorry,
Serena.
Ali. Another one, Prime Mike Tyson.
Prime Mike Tyson, yeah. 86 to 90 Mike Tyson, yes.
And Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
and
then
like
and then also now someone approaching that room is Tom Brady.
yeah.
I wouldn't say he's necessarily quite in there yet.
Yeah. Well,
But
he's
he's at the front of the line. He's at the VIP.
Yeah.
He's at the front of the line.
Yeah.
The guy's just waiting for the clearance
Yeah.
over the headset to open the rope for him.
Yeah, the team sport stuff, like, I put Tiger and Serena in a separate room just because they were individualists, and, like, they dominated the sport, like, literally by themselves. But there were no teammates involved. It was just them, this is what I'm going to do. This is it. This is how we do things. So, like, the idea of that, just, like, you're by like, these sports, like, with tennis and golf, you're by yourself. Like, you have no one to really help you out.
Boxing.
Like, boxing, yeah, right. You have no one to really help you out. It's just you and that other person. And again, golf, what do you have, like 30, 35 competitors competing for one time? Maybe more than that.
Yeah.
Like those huge tournaments, you have a lot of people you have to go through. And even with Serena in tennis, you're playing a tournament. Yeah, you're playing someone one at a time, but you're
playing the top ranked people in the entire world.
Yeah, and you're Serena Williams, so they look at you extremely different than they do, anybody else. Like
They're coming for you.
Yeah, and still.
When you're the top dog, you get everybody's best shot.
Yeah.
So you have to play your best game every night.
That's what I respect about elite people is that they know going in there's a championship for that
Now,
person.
your B game or C game could be good enough to still beat their A game.
Mm-hmm.
But do you want to make it close, or do you just want to play your A game to roll along?
Right. Jordan always said, he's like, I go into an arena knowing that, everyone's trying to take me out. However, I'm always at my top because I think about the people in the crowd. I know there's someone that's never seen me play before. I want them to know that, this is Michael Jordan, and I don't take nights off. So that's how this mentality is, guys. But anyway, circling back to Tiger, obviously I hope it's a speedy recovery. Hope he gets better. Hope he gets back on his feet. And hopefully, fingers crossed that this isn't the end of his professional career. So, Sixers last night.
Yes.
Got the much needed win. Had to do that. Came out from the beginning. Looked very similar in the first quarter.
I was worried, man.
Than the game.
I'll be
on
honest
Sunday.
with you. I was very, very worried that it was going to turn out the same. They had that 19-point lead, I believe it was, to end the first quarter. It just, obviously they got the W.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like how they build these big leads and let these teams come back. Now, I understand they're slightly shorthanded yesterday with no Curry.
Right.
I don't think Toronto's a very good team.
No. They've fallen off big time. And the major reason for their downfall is that Pascal Siakam is just not playing as well as they need him to play. Like he's not like it looked like.
Here's
2
what
it looked
here's
like 2
about
years
Siakam.
ago.
He's not as good as his highs show.
Right.
But he's definitely not as bad as his lows show.
Right.
But right now he keeps hitting his lows. If he would just play average for his game, they would be a much better team. He doesn't even need to play above his head.
On it, if you're
just
putting
needs to
together,
play
if you're putting
to
together
his level.
if you're putting together a championship team, he's the third best player on a championship team.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a 2. He's definitely not a 1. But I think Toronto.
He's definitely not a 1.
I think Toronto 2 years ago thought he had potential to be a 1. I never saw that out of him. So I think that's their biggest problem. And Fred VanVleet's a nice player. However, he's not. He is what he is. On a championship team, like when they won a championship, he's coming off the bench. He wasn't a starter. Now you're asking him to start. And he's had some moments.
He's had some good games. He's a good
games.
shooter, but
he's a good shooter, but he's not. I don't think he's a starter, and I don't think he's a top option on a championship team. Kyle Lowry's been out of the lineup.
Yeah, he's been hurt.
So and then you have the trickle down effect of that championship team. You have a couple guys left on it, but they're not. They're just guys.
Yeah, Kawhi's gone. Gasol's gone.
Right.
Green is now on the Sixers.
Right.
Yeah, it's not the same. You still have what's his name?
Owe?
Yes.
He wasn't, but he.
I was gonna say
championship team.
OG, right? That's the name.
OG, yeah.
OG.
Their championship team though. I believe he was hurt that year. I think he came back the next year, but I don't think he played on that championship team. I think he got hurt, so they didn't have him for the year they won the chip. And that's another guy too. They expected to come back to be more of a contributor than he's been, and he hasn't really been what they thought he was going to be. So they're kind of in this weird area now, and which also is interesting too, because now you're hearing the Kyle Lowry talk, and Kyle Lowry being maybe linked to coming here, which. I mean, we'll get into that. I want to ask you about him a little bit later, but we got to talk about Furkan Korkmaz for a second.
Can we really just give him a second?
We need to talk about Furkan for a minute because
here's what it is. When I turned the game on, I missed the first 3 to 5 minutes of it fighting with FanDuel.
Right.
Because I was mad that the app wasn't quite working, so I was I was arguing with my phone.
Right.
Even though it was just me kind of screaming into the abyss. I caught so I missed the first few minutes of the game. I turned it on, boom, he hits a shot. I was like, okay.
Yeah, 2 threes in the first 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah, I go, okay. And then when he hits that shot at the end of the first quarter, I texted you.
Right, you said WTF.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that's interesting about him is that it's kind of what I say about him. Who is there to be scared of on the Raptors, right? Who really will?
They have some nice players.
Who will intimidate
Furkan
Korkmaz? There's nobody there that's going to make him get skitterish and intimidate him. He doesn't have. There's nothing to be really fearful of.
Kyle Lowry's not there.
Right. Right.
That's the guy who would do it.
That's the one guy that may be able would intimidate him a little bit. But so he goes out. He puts up the 16 in the first quarter, and then he kind of comes back down to earth. He has 3 points for the rest of the game. That makes more sense. Now, I personally think this is a great thing. I think this is a great thing, and the reason why is because, and if I'm Doc Rivers now, I take Furk and put him on bubble wrap. Because now we've increased trade value. Now you can maybe be a piece in something. And that's really ultimately what we need anyway. We all know that Furkan Korkmaz isn't the answer. He's not the answer at all.
I can't believe he's still on this roster.
Yeah.
I can't believe
But what happened last night, I was like, oh my gosh, yes, go off. Because we need, I don't want to have to move too many of our pieces that I want for the future. But I would rather not have to just move Thibault or Maxey or even Isaiah Joe. I don't want to really move him either. So if a team can raise their eyebrow,
I would really prefer, the only guys that I really want to move are Korkmaz and Scott. Other than that, I don't really want to give up any players. And if I'm bringing somebody in, I want to give up draft. I don't care about draft picks.
Right.
Because they're too good of a team for the draft picks to truly matter.
Right.
They're going to be picking in the 23, 24, 25, 26 at least.
Right.
Hopefully, knock on wood.
Right.
It's tough. Like we said yesterday, it's tough to get guys then.
It is. It's very tough. And the Sixers have been good at it, surprisingly. They've been really good at getting guys later in the rounds, but you can't rely on that. And you don't want to have to rely on that. So, listen, we're going to take a break, and we're going to continue this Sixers conversation with our special guest on the other side. Justin Grassler from Sports Illustrated will be joining us. We also will be talking about the All-Star selections. And Wawa has an interesting new item that we need to discuss, too, on their menu.
Oh, okay.
Brad Emery in the morning, Marcus Brown, Justin Emery. We'll be right back. Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time.
Hey, everybody. I want to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet. 110 Lincoln Highway in Langhorne, right at the corner of Business Route 1 and Oxford Valley Road. Check them out online at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. Use promo code BREMI for 10% off your orders. You can check out, they have all sorts of them. Everything you could think of beef jerky, they have. They have a ton of other stuff too. Spices, barbecue sauces, peanuts, all different kind of things. My personal favorite, the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Head up there. Sharon and Michael will take great care of you. Again, use promo code BREMI for 10% off your order at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, and taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000. Yeah, man. Welcome back, Brown Emery in the morning. Marcus Brown, Justin Emery.
Yep.
So we're talking Sixers, and when you're talking Sixers, you're gonna have to sometimes get a special guest, and we have one on the line right now from Sports Illustrated. Justin Grasso joins us. What up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, fellas?
How's it going?
So first,
Going great.
I want to get into Seth Curry. Seth Curry was out last night with ankle injury, sprained his ankle. He's kind of been dealing with, between the ankle and COVID. It's been a lot last couple weeks with him. What is the latest on Seth Curry?
I think his ankle injury is just lingering. If you can remember, before he even tested positive for COVID, he was sitting out with an ankle injury. And I think it was just a sprain. It wasn't anything crazy. And then obviously COVID happened. So I think right now it's just a lot to come back from, trying to get his regular stamina back. And now he has his ankle soreness. It's nothing serious. He was actually probable last night. And Sixers kind of threw a little reversal there and ruled him out. But I don't think it's anything too serious.
So, with that injury, we had a very strange decision by Doc last night. Doc, after talking about the play of Isaiah Joe and discussing the play of Joe along with Korkmaz, and Korkmaz kind of taking a back seat and Joe getting his minutes, decides to start Furkan Korkmaz last night, which actually turned out to be a great move. You get 16 out of Korkmaz in the first quarter. It really totally jump-started the offense. I don't personally believe, and this is my opinion, I don't believe that Korkmaz is really a part of the rotation going forward on a championship roster. Do you think, and this is just me playing a little conspiracy theory, do you think at all that this might have been something to see if you can get something out of Korkmaz, maybe to interest anyone on the trade market?
It's a good question, because I definitely think that the Sixers are going to be, buyers at the market. I don't know if there's enough time for him to really, drive up his value. I think Doc Rivers still deep down likes having Korkmaz a part of the rotation. I just think, recently his struggles have been really bad. I mean, he just hasn't been shooting well at all. And then last night he kind of has a little comeback for himself. But, Rivers made it a point that when he's around guys like in the starting lineup, he has to do less, which makes him, be able to do more. He plays better with that first unit than he has been with the second unit. So I don't think the Sixers are necessarily looking to drive up his trade value. Obviously, if a team starts to like Korkmaz and they're talking about an offer that is just too good to pass up, then yeah, they're not married to Korkmaz. But I don't think there's anything going on right now where it's like, let's get this guy out on the court, see if we can drive up his trade value, and then try to get rid of him.
So you mentioned about trades, and I do agree with you. I think Sixers are going to be buyers. There's been a lot of names kind of floated out. You've heard the Kyle Lowry rumors, George Hill. I personally would like to see them get more of a utility knife, something that's a person that can do multiple things. I think it's kind of what they need off the bench, especially in that second unit. What would you like to see the Sixers land at the trade deadline?
Yeah, I don't think that they're going to go for anything big. I know Kyle Lowry's been a name that's been thrown out there, and to be honest, there's really nothing. There's no actual traction behind that. I think that that's just kind of, he's an aging veteran and on a contract year. So at first it made sense when the Raptors were struggling, and then it was like, okay, maybe they will sell Lowry. But I think at this point, with them being in fifth place in the East, they look like they're going to be in the playoff picture. So I don't think there's any reason for Toronto to get rid of Lowry. So I think that's more of a pipe dream for Sixers fans. I think they're going to go with a smaller deal, something like Nemanja Bjelica, which has been pretty consistent rumors as of late. He's not really in the Kings rotation. The Sixers could use a backup four. Obviously, Mike Scott's not really giving you anything. And, who knows if he's going to suffer any setbacks again in the near future. So I think they have to kind of go with that and maybe try to find, a backup point guard there. I know Shake Milton, he plays well, but he can play both, point guard and shooting guard. So I think the Sixers are going to go for, maybe two reserves instead of trying to go for like a big name like, say, Zach LaVine or Kyle Lowry.
So let's shift a little bit. To All-Star talk. Now, Tobias Harris, in my opinion, should be on the team. But it always seems when it comes to NBA, when it comes to leagues like major sports leagues or award shows, it's always kind of a year late. So I'm not surprised he's not on a team. However, Ben Simmons makes the team again, and he makes the team, in my opinion, based off February. He's been a monster, putting up incredible stats, looking more like the Ben Simmons that we kind of wanted. Been a lot more aggressive this past month. What do you think is attributing to him turning the switch on like this?
Well, we asked him about it because obviously it's a lot different than, when he started the season. He looked so much more hesitant. He kind of, every time he'd bring the ball up, it was like he just turned his back to the opponent and then just tried to look to pass it out, where the perimeter is. But he said it's about his mental, and he kind of had a mental block where just something wasn't allowing him to be aggressive. And, now he's driving to the rim and he's just fearless. And it doesn't, he's not always consistent with making those shots, but just seeing him do that and, seeing him build his confidence makes him want to do that consistently. And now he just looks like a completely different player. And this is really who Simmons should have been all along, but obviously we know there was always something holding him back. And he's been pretty consistent with saying, mentally I wasn't able to just, put my head down and be fearless and just, go at the rim. Now that he's kind of, worked on getting that block out of his head, now he's, looked a lot better. So I think, and maybe trade rumors before could have played a part in it. He wasn't, with all that James Harden stuff going down, he wasn't really playing that well. And then right after, he realized, okay, Harden's in Brooklyn, I'm not going anywhere. Now I can, start to focus on what's going on the court with the Sixers. So I think it's a little bit of that mental block, and then it's a little bit of the trade rumors. And then, maybe he looked at the All-Stars and saw that he was falling out of favor with the fans. He was top 10 initially, and then, he got pushed out of there, and then, he started turning up his play a little bit. So I think there's a little mix of everything, but, lately he's been fantastic.
Absolutely. And hopefully he continues that trajectory as his team gets ready for the playoff push. Hey, Justin, we appreciate you jumping on, and we will definitely be in contact with the trade deadline coming up. Hopefully we could talk soon.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Justin Grasso, Sports Illustrated, joining us, dropping some jewels of knowledge.
Yeah, man. That was great.
Yeah, man. The Ben stuff was interesting. Because the fact that Ben acknowledged it and owned it. Ben sometimes, I think the reputation of him was always kind of he doesn't own things, and all those points that Justin made were very interesting points in the fact that the trade stuff going on that probably could have gotten his head. Also the fact that he did fall out of favor because once the All-Star team is kind of like a mafia in a sense. Once you get in, you're not getting out. You're pretty much you're pretty much in there, and you're just in that. You're gonna be an All-Star. That's just what you're gonna be.
Well,
you don't really fall. You don't really fall. Once you become an upper echelon star, that's just who you are. You're a star.
Okay.
So Ben falling out of that voting, out of that top 10 of voting of those names, I can see that definitely affecting him.
So you said you feel like some players are snubbed.
I do.
I do
not many, but I do.
I originally thought that. Upon further analysis, I actually don't think there were any snubs.
Okay.
So would you like to present your case for there being a snub?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to start with the obvious.
Okay.
It is ridiculous to me that Devin Booker is not an All-Star.
Okay, who would you replace?
Chris Paul. If you're gonna pick one person from that team, and say, okay, Phoenix, you're not usually a team that's been – we're not going to reward you because you haven't been consistently good over the past 10 years. That's fair. That's fine. I won't argue with that. I think it's stupid that the NBA thinks that way, but I won't argue with that. However, if you're going to pick one of the two, you pick Devin Booker. Devin Booker has been on that team, first of all, longer than Chris Paul. Chris Paul just got there. And also on the same token, Devin Booker has been doing this now for like 4 years.
Well, he was an All-Star last year.
Right. He should be one this year. I think Devin Booker, when Bron coming out tweeting about you, Bron said, and I'm going to paraphrase here, said he is the most disrespected player in the NBA.
No, here, hold on. So, here are Booker's stats, okay?
Mm-hmm.
24, 4, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
Rounded to the whole number, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Here's Chris Paul. 16, 8, and 4.
Mm-hmm.
So he's averaging 8 points less, double the assists, and
he's a point guard.
2 more. Well, I get that, but we're talking. Who
Devin Booker's a better player. I just told you, Chris Paul. Devin Booker's a better player.
But
he's a better Devin. Sometimes.
But Chris Paul.
Like,
how many All-Stars
has
he? What games has he made?
Chris Paul?
Yes.
He's been an All-Star since his New Orleans.
He's an 11-time All-Star. Like, you're not gonna.
But that's my point. But that's not fair. That's my point. This whole thing is that it's like I said, it's like the mafia. You get in, you get in that class of that guy has to be an All-Star, and he just make him an All-Star because he's not. But like,
all right,
and I'm not saying Chris Paul's not an All-Star, but if I had to pick one of the two, Devin Booker should have been on that team. It's disrespectful. Devin Booker is a walking, talking bucket.
Okay. How about the Eastern Conference? Who do you have there? Snubs there? Well, first off, do you have any others in the Western Conference?
No.
Because he's really the only one you could make a case for.
And honestly, like, Rudy Gobert, like, I mean.
But you need a big man. That's the difference.
I mean, you got Joker's the other big man. Was that it? Hold on, I gotta look at this.
Yeah, I'll pull him up right here. I got you.
I got this right here. So you had the West. You had Paul George, Lillard, Mitchell, Gobert, Zion, Anthony Davis. Okay.
I mean, like,
now people are saying DeMar DeRozan, but I don't agree. I wouldn't make a case for him, even though DeMar DeRozan is a really good player. San Antonio's not having the greatest of years. They're kind of like in the the bottom of the division, and DeMar DeRozan, he's a really good player. He's not a difference maker right now for them. That's why he's just not. Like, that's the only. And I will say, and also, okay, on the East, Trae Young. How did Trae Young not make the All-Star team?
Okay, anybody else on the East?
Technically yes. Technically Tobias Harris. However, I understand. Like I said to Justin, I get it. This is how it goes. It's always a year late.
But let me ask you. So I think that Trae Young has a stronger case than Tobias Harris. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Who would you take off of what two guys?
Ben Simmons.
Would you? Okay, so you don't.
I would take Ben. I don't think Ben Simmons deserves to be an All-Star this year.
Okay.
I think he's.
No,
I think
name
he's
me
playing
two.
like.
Name me two. Name me two.
Give me some names.
So here you got Jaylen Brown. I think he should be an All-Star. James Harden.
Obviously.
Zach LaVine.
Yes.
Jason Tatum.
Yes.
Vucevic in Orlando.
Yeah.
He's
an
All-Star.
Yeah.
Randall.
Yes, he's had a very good year. Yes.
Simmons.
So and well, if you're asking me too, I would probably say Randall and Simmons.
But Randall, I looked at this today. Randall is better in every category than Harris this year.
Okay. Well, I'm not. Listen, Harris is not someone that I understand why he didn't make the All-Star team.
It's just
I would like them. I would like to have that nod.
It's like there's only so many spots.
I mean, if you want to be honest about it and be real about it, Harris deserves to be on this team more than Simmons does this year.
Okay, but I still think that Trae Young deserves to be on it before Tobias Harris.
I
so
agree.
Simmons' spot should go to
Trae
Trae Young.
I agree.
But then what do you do with Tobias Harris? Because I'm not.
I don't. That's fine. Like Tobias Harris, I get it. I would have liked him to be All-Star this year. I didn't expect him to be because we could all sit here and say, listen, Tobias Harris is playing like an All-Star.
How much
we
do you
with
think?
That? He's playing like an All-Star.
Yes. How much do you think Simmons' 42-point game impacted him coming to this roster?
A lot. Well, listen. Without the month of February, he's not on the roster. This month of basketball that he's played, maybe I'll give him to like late January to now. This is why he's on the All-Star team. He was you go back to, early January, he was averaging like 10 a game. Like he had his assists and rebounds were up, but his points were way down. But and listen, I love the way Ben Simmons is playing right now. Ben Simmons is playing like an All-Star right now. That is not what I'm saying. That is not to be questioned. He is playing like an All-Star. However, he should not be an All-Star this year based on his entire year. If you like Trae Harris, Trae Young deserves that spot. And if it was another Sixer, it should have been Harris over Simmons. But really, Trae Young's averaging almost 30 a game. Are you kidding me?
27.
Yeah, are you kidding me right now? How did he not make the team? That's ridiculous. But
you know why? Because Atlanta Hawks fans.
Yeah, right. And but you know what though? But that's the messed up part of it is that I don't think this should necessarily be controlled by the fan because the average fan is going to just go by names. That's how you end up having this stuff is that the average fan knows Chris Paul more than he knows Devin Booker. So the average fan is going to because Devin Booker, like how many national TV games has Devin Booker been on? Not many. Like this is the most probably this year because of, the team is going to be a little bit better. I don't know. That's the major one.
I'll say this. You've convinced me on the Chris Paul over
Devin Booker or Chris Paul.
Devin Booker. You've convinced me on that one.
Mm-hmm.
You have not.
You still say Simmons over Trae?
It's a push. I'm okay either way. If it would have been Trae Young over Simmons, I would have been okay with it. But the fact that it's Simmons over.
I think you know what, too. I think
here's what it is.
I think politics falls in this too.
So you have 12 spots on the All-Star team, right?
Right. Yep.
If there was 14 on each side, say there was 14 on each side, the next two guys up are going to be Young and Harris in the East.
Yes.
Booker would be the next guy up in the West, and then who would it be? DeRozan?
Probably DeRozan.
Jamal Murray?
Maybe Jamal Murray, yeah. But he's been inconsistent too. Like Jamal Murray.
So it's just really. It just so happens that there was 13 guys for a 12-person spot.
Right.
You know what happened to Devin Booker? He got Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
He got Isaiah Thomas.
Well, I was gonna bring up more on the East side when it comes to this.
Is there trouble with the Banana Boat crew?
There has to be.
If LeBron is who's LeBron suggesting over?
Yeah, that's interesting that he did because Chris Paul really is probably the last guy on this team.
Going through. Are you not going to put Anthony Davis? He's not going to not want his teammate on there.
Right.
Paul George, you can't take that away from him.
No.
Gobert, like I said, it's because of more so of his position. You got to have the big man there.
Right.
The center. Dame. Come on now. Donovan Mitchell. I'm not necessarily. I'm not the biggest.
They're the best team in the West, and he's the best player on that team.
I'm not necessarily a Donovan Mitchell fan, but you're not taking him off the team.
He won me over in the bubble.
Zion. You're not.
Zion.
The NBA elected Zion to the All-Star team.
Yeah, the NBA selected him next up.
So then the only one left is Chris Paul.
Right. Well, that's why I was going to go with a little bit. There has to be a little bit of a political game to this. Look, Ben Simmons, for instance. Ben Simmons represented by Clutch Sports. He's a LeBron guy. He's in that fold. It's good for LeBron's brand that Ben Simmons makes the All-Star team. Now, I'm not saying LeBron said something, but you need this for this brand to work. Ben Simmons has to be a perennial All-Star. He has to. He can't miss All-Star games because of contract reasons. I'm sure Nike gives him some kind of perk for making an All-Star team. I'm sure in his contract there's some kind of perks for making an All-Star team. So you have these agents that are really good at their jobs, maybe there's some politicking backdoors that Trae Young did not get because Ben Simmons is a bigger name in the NBA than Trae Young. Because, one, Trae Young plays in Atlanta, which is a really bad sports city. Ben Simmons plays in Philadelphia, which is a really good sports city. Trae Young plays to almost zero fanfare. Ben Simmons plays to a lot of fanfare.
Yeah.
So these are also aspects of the process that, probably go into all of this stuff too. But, Trae should be an all-star. Devin Booker should be an all-star. I mean, it's just you can't – I mean, I don't know if they want to think about maybe expanding these rosters to 15 and doing that and going that direction maybe so you don't have some of these controversies.
Well, if you expanded it to 15 – I mean, I guess going to 12 to 15 would be the next lot. You wouldn't do like 13 or 14.
No, 15 is the next
15.
next number. And I think you would avoid some of this
I think you would avoid all of it because,
yeah,
like you said, on the East, we'd put Young in, and then we'd put Harrison, and then who would be the other one?
Right.
You'd have to find a 15th guy.
Right.
I mean,
right.
Off the top of your – I mean, who?
I don't know. I mean, I can't think of a name off the top of my head, like who would be the 15th guy, but the fact that we have to do that tells us we're filling out the roster.
In the West,
yeah.
You'd have Devin Booker.
There's more talent in the West, so you're going to find more desirable people in the West to put on the team. Where in the East doesn't have as much of the talent. So
yeah, but even still, the people are clamoring that it was Booker and DeRozan that missed out.
Right.
Well, then so put both of those on. Say DeRozan makes team and Booker makes team.
Right.
Who else then? Both conferences still have another spot.
Right. You could do like a Buddy Hield or someone of that
Kyle
nature.
Lowry.
Yeah, a Kyle Lowry on the East maybe. Someone of that nature. But like again, because the biggest issue I think with all of this is the fan voting. Because a lot of fans don't actually follow the game, Like most fans are surface fans. They're not really doing their research. So they'll see a name, and they're like if LeBron James averaged 8.7 rebounds and 3 assists, he's making the All-Star team this year.
Yeah,
he's a John Gotti of the All-Star team mafia. He's gonna be on the team. There's no question. There's certain guys. Giannis Antetokounmpo, doesn't matter what he does, he's gonna be on the team. Kevin Durant. Like, you get to there's certain names, it doesn't matter. Like, you've had years where guys were hurt, like, injured, and made the All-Star team. Like, Magic Johnson didn't play in 1992, but he was a leading vote getter in the All-Star game because the fans wanted that to happen. So you have goofy things like this that I think could be controlled better with a 15-man roster. But we're going to go take a break, and when we come back, I want to discuss a couple things. Little Phillies baseball, the return of Odubel Herrera, and we're going to get into that a little bit, and we're going to talk about the new item on the Wawa menu, and we'll get back into the Sixers and around the NBA power rankings. Sixers not in a favorable position, I don't think. Neither do you. We'll talk about that and a lot more. Brian Emery in the morning, Marques Brown, Justin Emery. We'll be right back. Yo, that video I was just watching actually reminded me of something. I was at a gas station. This is like 6 months ago, maybe. We were over the summer. And like I pull up and obviously to get gas. And I just happen to look over, like my windows are tinted, like super tinted. So you can't really see that I'm looking at you.
Right, my windows are tinted as well, yeah.
Yeah, so you can't really see what's going on in my car, but I can see what's going on in yours.
Right.
This girl is going full out TikTok dance.
Oh.
Like just getting after it. I think she might have even been sweating a little bit.
Okay.
Like just going for it.
It's getting busy in there.
Just getting for it. So like I had to get out, but like I didn't want to disturb her. It's like she was getting it. I didn't want to distract her. And like it was funny. I got out of the car and we locked eyes, and I had that look on my face like I know what you're just doing there. I know what's happening there. And she looked back like I'm a little embarrassed. And I was like, but I said again, I was like, it's okay. I get it. You're 18. This is what you guys do.
Making a TikTok video.
You're making a video. Like I don't get mad. I don't get mad. Like a lot of people always are like with the kids and stuff like that. Oh my God, these kids. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not like that. I get it. I've been doing that too. If I was 18, I've been doing the same thing, making stupid videos and doing stupid stuff. I actually used to, before there was even a thing to record stuff on your phone, I was recording stuff on my phone. Like in the 2000s, I was recording stuff on my phone and just keeping it for my own. I don't know why. I would just do like weird stuff and record it just for my viewing pleasure later on. I don't know why I was doing that. I just was. Like we just like when you're young, you do weird stuff. It's okay.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, TikTok's not for me. Like, I'll watch like I have reels on Instagram, so I can scroll through and kind of see what's going on. And plus, like that's part of my job. Like it's part of my job to keep up on what's going on. Like I have to. I have no choice. So like I'll watch stuff and like some of the stuff is pretty funny. I'll laugh at it, but I don't ever see myself doing a actual TikTok video.
So like I have TikTok. I've never made a video. Mm-hmm. I just scroll through and look at all the funny stuff that like people do with their dogs.
Oh, okay.
Like that cracks me up.
Yeah.
And I'll just, yeah, I've never made one. I'm not even sure really how I mean.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's like we did.
There is one. There's a filter where you can make yourself a ghost.
Oh, there you go.
I would want to do that. I would mess with that, but I don't understand how to do it.
Like last summer,
and I don't really care to learn. That's the thing.
Last summer I did a Daddy Day Camp.
That's why I don't use Instagram.
Yeah, I hear you. I did Daddy Day Camp last summer, and like as one of the fun things we did a Daddy Day Camp TikTok site, and like I would have Ness teach us some of those dances, and we'd do some dances in the videos, stuff like that. It was fun. Like it was just lighthearted, good-natured fun. Like now, like as a grown man, like I don't see, like I would never like go to this myself and be like, yo, I'm about to hit that renegade on TikTok. like that's not something I'm gonna do. Like I'm not gonna be like, yo, Corvette, I'm about to do that right now. Like, I would never think in my head do that. Like, it's a different mentality. Like I told you, we went on vacation to Poconos this past week, and we were with Amber's sisters who are younger than us, and like everything needs to be documented on film. Like it's everything. Like no matter what we were doing, there was a camera out. Like I felt like I had the paparazzi with me. Like everything we were doing, like was documented on film. Like there's nothing that was going on that was not recorded. Like it has to go to the Instagram stories. It has to go to Snapchat. It has to go. Like I Snapchat a little bit and had a couple stories, but like it was like, oh, this is cool. Let me get this. You know what I mean? But like with certain people and certain generation, especially like the 20-something girl, everything needs to be recorded. Everything. You like it's not enough to have fun. You have to see me and see that I'm having fun, which is definitely a different mentality than like I come from. Like I would rather have the fun and tell you about the fun later. Like it's funny. Like I remember I went on vacation with my family. Like not this past summer, but last one, went to Virginia, and one of my friends was like, when I got back, he's like, yo, how was your vacation? I was like, oh, man, we had a blast. I was kind of telling him everything we're doing. I was like, we went to Virginia Beach, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, yeah, I mean, I didn't know if you were having fun because you didn't post anything. And I was like,
so?
What? I was like, yeah, because I was too busy actually having fun.
Oh, that's funny.
Like we have a picture over here from that vacation. We took a couple pictures, couple Polaroids, whatever. Like, but like I was in the moment having fun. I don't want to get pulled out of the moment to be like, oh, wait. This is gonna be fly for the gram. Let me get this shot for the. Like that's just not how I think. Now I don't want anyone to feel bad for thinking that way. That's just not my generation. Not where we come from. Like, we come from, could you imagine if we could document stuff from the 90s?
No.
Like, we would take in shotgun carts in the woods and going full speed and propelling ourselves in ditches for fun. That's the kind of things we were doing. Like, could you imagine if we had the ability to document that? It would have been amazing. If we had Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat back then, I'm sure a lot of parents would be in jail. There'd be a lot of incarcerated parents over the things that we were not that we were so much allowed to do, the things we were doing they had no idea we were doing. We were definitely a more dangerous, like, because nowadays, these kids today, these kids today, they would much rather watch someone have fun than go have fun themselves.
Yeah.
Like, they're much more into watching the videos of people have fun, which I don't understand that. Like, I want to go out there, I want to create the fun. I don't want to watch someone do something fun. I want to go out there and figure out. Like, boredom is the cousin of creativity. Like, you can't be creative if you're not bored first. Like, some of my best days as a kid was, what do you want to do today? And just see what happens. Just see where it goes. There's an abandoned car up there. Let's see what that's about. You know what I mean? Like, just random stuff like that turned into, like, the best days.
I got a good one for you. So, they were replacing the entire neighborhood's, I don't know, some kind of water system. They were digging up all the streets in the neighborhood. They had these giant concrete.
The hollowed out.
Those cylinders.
Yeah.
For, like, blocks long.
Wow.
Oh, man, we would, post up in there.
Yeah.
Hang out.
Yeah, have lunch in there.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, like whatever. Do it.
Disappear. Like, what was it? Not during the week because they'd be doing it, but on the weekends,
right.
Like, get on our bike, just disappear in there for a little bit.
Yeah. Now, if this was today, it would be, let me go on YouTube and watch kids in cylinders. They'd be watching you do that instead of actually going out there and doing that themselves.
Yeah.
And even, like, there were, like, I know, like.
We had whole like,
were you,
backstories made up about the place, all sorts of stuff.
Were you into all, like the skateboarding community at all, like the CKY videos, like the early, like, that type of stuff? Now, they would do.
The thing is, not me personally.
Like the early Jackass videos.
I had a lot of friends that enjoyed it, but that, like.
Yeah. And that was, like, my friends. I was friends with a couple kids that skateboard, and they were huge. That was a huge part of the culture, the skateboard videos. Now, a lot of the skateboard videos would have other stuff on there, like prank stuff, and like that's how Robin Big got their start.
Well, like a lot of in my friends group, there was a lot of Bam Margera was really big because one of our friends' older sisters dated him briefly, and she was one of the people who had it. I dated someone like 5 years ago,
right? So
she would constantly I dated him 10 years, like whatever it was. So, obviously through the flow of everything, Bam Margera specifically from Jackass was real big.
Well, listen, Bam Margera back in the early 2000s wasn't a hard man to find. You go down to Westchester, down there.
Yeah,
you're gonna run into Bam Margera, and you're probably not gonna remember that day.
No.
He's
all over Westchester.
It was quite frequent to see him at that Kildare's just plastered out of his mind, like just like laying over in a chair somewhere. Like, oh, there's Bam. There he is. But my point with those videos is that, like, we would watch those videos, and then we would like, oh, that looks cool. Let's go out and try that. But it wasn't like, oh, that's cool. We'll watch another video. That's just kind of where we're at today. But again, I get it. It's just like we weren't privy to this. Like, I'm happy I grew up when I did, because I'm happy I didn't grow up in an era of this much technology and this much stuff. Where
I'm glad that Facebook didn't really boom till I was already like in college.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I didn't have to navigate that, because like you said, it would have been a lot of trouble.
A lot of trouble. Oh my gosh, the things we were doing and saying, and like it would have been a trouble there would have been a lot of stories coming out about this generation. Like, is this the worst generation of all time?
Yes.
A lot of those type of stories.
The answer is yes.
Yeah. The 80s and 90s was just we had. Did you watch this documentary yet on HBO, Action Park, about Action Park? Action Park is one of the most famous water parks in the country. Also, one of the most notoriously dangerous water parks ever. Like, there's been deaths at Action Park. Like, and I used to go there when I was a kid. So, like, watch this documentary was like a flashback to all these things, and I left at the end like, why did my mom let me go to this park?
Oh,
and
all sorts of stuff.
Why were we going here as a youth? We went here as a youth group, like a church youth group, bro.
Yeah.
Like Pastor Tom and like this park also, they talk about in the documentary, was a notorious hangout for gangs. Like literally the gang culture at Action Park was different. And some of these rides, I have a scar actually. It's like a badge of honor to have a scar from Action Park. They have this thing called the Alpine Slide, which is like it's like a go-kart type lane.
I'm familiar with it.
Where like you just basically you get in this thing, you can steer it, but it just goes. This thing's going 35, 40 miles an hour. Like I'm going around turns, so I fly off, right? And I hit and this is in the middle of the course. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I fly off, I hit the thing, literally rips off so much skin, down to the white meat. Look at this. Look at this right
here. No, I don't need to see that. I'm not looking.
It's fine now.
I'm
it's
not
okay
looking.
Now. Just look at this. Look at this.
Oh,
See
yeah.
that right there?
Yeah.
See the scar?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So like
it's a big chunk out of your knee.
Huge chunk. Like they didn't basically I had to finish the course sad. I was like in the middle of the course. So I finished. So I had to get back on, finish it, and I'm like, it's starting to hurt. Like now blood's starting to happen. They take me to this little hut. It's like a little hut. And this 17-year-old kid's like, yo, you good? I'm like, I guess.
I don't know.
And he's like, here's a spray. Sprays me, puts a Band-Aid on, see you later. And I go back to my area where people are like, yo, are you okay? I was like,
I don't know.
I mean,
bleeding through the Band-Aid.
Yeah, literally, this is something that definitely needed stitches. But then I was just like, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna go back on the rides. I don't know.
See, I've never gotten hurt while I was out, like to that point, where I had to go a medical tent or something like that.
We had a kid in the wave pool. He got literally the wave pool raised him up. He looked like a superhero for it looked really cool for 5 seconds, but a crash was gnarly. He came down on his head, and he disappeared for a good 30 seconds. We're like, yo, we're all looking for him. He comes up, huge gash on his head.
Oh, he's got a knot on his forehead.
It's like pulsating. He's like, hey guys, am I okay? We're like, no, you're not okay.
Dude, you got rocked.
you're not okay at all. We were all screaming.
Oh man.
Oh.
There used to be. Penn State gets some legendary snowstorms up there in the mountains.
Yeah.
And there's the two main roads that come through downtown. It's not uncommon to see it flood with hundreds of thousands of people walking around a Friday or a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Well, there's these real steep, entryways to the parking decks. You're coming driving in and out. And they get iced over, and I'm not sure why they're not taken care of, but they're not.
Right.
So you could just sit there and just watch people. I can walk across this and not fall.
You're going to fall.
Okay.
Yeah.
100% success rate. So I'm sitting there watching it one time, and boom, everybody's falling. Everybody's falling. I go, all right. I got this. Sir, I did not have this. But again, nobody could document it.
Nobody could document it. So it didn't
Nobody
happen.
could document
it.
It didn't happen.
So many things I can pretend never happened because it wasn't on film.
Oh yeah, I have one real particular moment I'm glad it's not caught on film.
Oh.
And now it might be caught on a security camera somewhere, but it's not caught on film.
What's that?
Oh, okay. So it was a lot of my friends were in fraternities in college.
Yeah.
I wasn't, but I had a lot of friends that were. So there was this one particularly large party that it may have been the biggest party I've ever personally been at.
Okay.
They had mechanical bulls in the yard. It was out of control.
Yeah, things were happening.
It was so big the cops broke it up not because they said we couldn't have a party. They were just like, there's just too many people here.
Right.
Just some people have to leave.
Right.
So we end up somewhere else. Got absolutely annihilated there.
Yeah.
So I'm walking home from downtown. Boom. And we go to get food. We're at the pizza place, got some pizza, and my roommate's sitting there eating, and I really had to use the bathroom. And I was like, listen. I know there's not a bathroom around here, so I'm going to go up around the corner behind these bushes. I'll be right back. Don't leave without me.
Yeah.
He's like, do what you got to do. So I go, boom, up the hill, around the corner, bent through the bushes, no problem, use the bathroom. As I'm leaving, I hear his voice, and it's getting further away, and I'm like, oh crap, he's leaving me. So I'm not even thinking. I'm following his voice,
Yeah.
forgetting that I'm on like the hill. So I'm following, and I just like go to jump. I go to like jump down like where he was, like I was trying to jump down onto like a picnic table.
Yeah.
But I hit it and slipped. Boom! Right onto the sidewalk.
No.
Yeah. Dude, I ate it. It might have been the hardest I ate. Like, I was.
Thank God you were feeling no pain.
Oh, I got up and
Yeah.
I was like, I'm walking, and my roommate's like, "You all right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm cool." He's like, "You look a little messed up." I'm like, "No, we're fine.
No,
We're
I'm
walking."
fine.
Some random girl comes running from like 2 blocks away. And she's like, "Are you? I saw what happened. Are you sure you're fine?" I was like, "I'm walking. I'm good. I'm walking." Now, I was kind of banged up for like the next week or so. Like I was
Yeah.
sore,
Yeah.
but not caught on camera. Didn't happen.
So I know we have to take a break, and we're going to do that right now. So we're going to do the other side. You reminded me of a legendary thank God it was not on camera.
Yeah.
And you actually see the scar right here on my forehead. We're going to talk about New Year's Eve 2005 on the other side.
Oh.
Brian in the morning, Marcus Brown, Justin Emery, be right back. So I want to take you guys through one of the best and worst nights of my life, all at the same time. New Year's Eve 2005. So this is 2004 going into 2005. Now, as a man, we are typically not great planners. It's not something we typically do. Unless you have a girlfriend, wife, significant other, they're usually more the ones for these big events. You plan stuff because you want to either impress them or you don't want to get nagged at for not having anything together. Like, I've always kind of like, when I went into my weekends, I was always more from the school of, we'll see what happens. Like, I hang out with a group of people where I know something awesome is going to happen. I don't have to plan it. We're going to figure it out. So, like, usually going to a Friday or Saturday night, it was like, yo, what are we doing? And then we just go from there. So New Year's Eve was kind of the same thing. I was single, but I was like kind of seeing this girl, but it wasn't anything really serious. She lived in Manayunk, and I was in Dolestown, so I would always come down and like I would hang out in Manayunk a lot. That's how I met her in the first place. So she had something to do until like 12:30, something like that, like 12:30. So we were gonna link up later. So I need to figure out what to do my night before that point. And like I'm kind of putzing around in her day, and I'm not really coming up with anything good. So I'm like, let me see what my buddy Matt's doing. Matt usually always has a plan. Let me see what Matt's got going on. So I call Matt up. I'm like, yo, what's going on tonight? He's like, oh, you don't know? I'm like, yo, I don't, but I know this is about to be lit. So what's going on? And he's like, yo, this girl that was at high school with us, she rented out the entire second floor of Brownies, and it's just like open bar, and it's free. All you gotta do is have your name on the list. I was like, well, you need to put that name on that list right now.
Yeah.
So he gets me a list, and like I had a friend also, Zeke, that I was gonna hang out with. So like, this is kind of messed up, but like, so like we were gonna hang out before and do something, but I forgot to get him on the list. So I call him all excited. I'm like, yo, like this girl, she put us on the list. Like we got the second floor rented out. I'm gonna pick you up. We're out. So we get down there. We get down to Brownies, right? And like we're in line. We're waiting to go in. And like the guy's like, yo, name was Marques Bradham. Goes down there. He's like, good. He's like, wait, someone has to come down there and get you though, take you up there. I'm like, all right, whatever. So Matt comes downstairs and he's like, yo, what's up, man? I'm like, yo, and he looks around and he sees Zeke. He goes, oh, hey, man. And he's like, yo, you didn't tell me you were bringing him. He's not on the list. I looked at Zeke. I was like, dog, I messed up here. You're not on the list. And he took it actually really well. He was like, that's all right, man. Like, I can just go find something to do, and you're coming a minute later, right? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I felt really bad. I'm like, yo, take my car. I had this really, like, at the time, I had like it was a SUV. It was a Montero Sport, like forest green, windows tinted system. I didn't trust anybody with that car, but I felt really bad. So I'm like, here, just take my car so you're good. You can go find something to do. Go upstairs. Listen, I was 24 years old. There's not too many people at 24 that are experienced with the open bar.
No.
Like,
no.
the idea of an open, like now, open bars, they're great. Don't get me wrong, they're great. Not as a big deal to me now at 40 as it was at 24. The idea that I can just drink whatever I want and don't have to pay for it, you get a little excited, you know? So we go up there and we're just
it's going down.
Shots are flowing, the drinks are flowing. It's a movie. Like we're just going, like literally it looked like a rap video. I don't know if you've ever been to Brownies in Villanova, but it was so cool because they have the 2 floors. And the second floor is a little bit smaller, but it was enough it was like probably 60, 70 people up there. And downstairs, though, is flooded with people. Like probably easily over 1,000. They had a band going. I'm overlooking the balcony, just stick my drink, listen to the band. Bro, I am in like a different state of euphoria. Like this is amazing. This is everything is going so well. So we're just like going after it. Now typically with drinking, like with me, I'll say with me. I'm not gonna say for everybody. With me, I'm really good at the barometer of where I'm going too far. And, like, I can always usually bring it back to the other side because, like, I know my body. I know, okay, it's time to slow down a little bit. You can still drink, but you can slow down a little bit. But then you have those occasional nights where it hits you out of nowhere, and you go from, like, kind of buzz to gone in the blink of an eye. So I remember I'm dancing with this girl, and, like, we're legit dancing, and, like, all of a sudden, everything starts getting blurry and spinning, and it sounds like people are talking like robots. To the point where I now kind of recall her kind of guiding me over to the railing and just posting me on the railing and just disappearing. So, like, I'm just sitting there. I'm like, this is not good. So where do we go when things are not good? We go to the bathroom. The bathroom is like our locker room as a drinker. You go to the bathroom.
I need a minute.
You need a pep talk, maybe a splash of water in the face. You're hoping things are going to rebound in the bathroom. And sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. Go to the bathroom, right? So I'm at the urinal. And I thought I was there for like 2 minutes. I'm at the urinal for about 45 minutes.
Oh, man.
To the point where people are now looking for me, like, where's Marcus? My friend Dave comes in the bathroom, and he's like, yo, are you okay? I turn around, look at him, and fall face first on the cement floor. Whap!
Oh.
On the floor. Eat it.
Eat it.
I'm wearing this white and blue button up. He lifts my head up. There's blood everywhere. There's blood out my nose, out my mouth. I have this gash in my forehead. So they drag me over to the stool. Now here's where I don't understand what they were thinking here. They put me on a bar stool. Okay?
Oh,
On a bar stool.
no back.
No, put me on a bar stool and they put the trash can next to me. So now I gotta throw up. I go to do that, fall off the bar stool, hit my head again on the trash can. Now I'm just laying on the floor in the middle of the night. Bouncers come over like, listen,
You gotta go.
we
man.
get it, but you guys got to get him out of here. Like, we just can't. Like, so Matt, Dave had me underneath an arm, like drag. I look like Jesus being guided to the, like, blood flowing down my face. Like, it's bad. Matt and now his wife. This is the first time, by the way, I'm meeting her. Get me in a cab, and they take one for the team. Because by this time, it's probably like around 12. So they throw me in a cab, and they're like, we'll ride with them back to Dolestown. Like, we're driving up there in the cab. They're like trying to talk loudly because I'm throwing up in the back of this cab, which is like a major fine. Like, you know, like if you do, that's a huge no-no. So like literally, we got blood. I'm throwing. It's bad. So they were able to. I don't know how, but the cabbie had no idea this was happening in the back of his cab. They get me out of the cab, which was like a $100 cab ride, by the way.
Oh, easy.
from Villanova
Easy.
to Dolestown. Matt takes me to my door and knocks on the door, and my poor mother answers the door, and he's like, "Hey, here's Marcus. Bye." It's like runs away. She just throw me on the couch. I'm like I said, blood's everywhere. Like it was so bad. The next day, I wake up. My face is swollen. Like my lip is like out, like literally an inner tube on a bike. My nose is scratched up and bleeding. I have a gash in my forehead. And I'm looking in the mirror like, what? I'm trying to put the pieces of everything together, but I had no idea. I had to have my mom driving down the city, which was one of the most awkward experiences of my lives, because, like, my mom at that point didn't know I even got down like that. Like, so it's literally silence, and she's driving to Manayunk to get my car. It was a mess. And then, on top of that, I'm teaching at Lakeside Alternative School at the time, which is a high school. So I have to go into work on Tuesday, and my face is just destroyed. So I had to make up a whole story about how, like, the kid, like New Year's Eve, somebody jumped on my back, and I lost my balance and fell in my face. One of the kids was like, "You were drunk." I was like, I don't want to talk about it. Moving on. But
Did I ever tell you the time I was in a cab and he hit somebody?
you hit someone in a cab?
No, I was in the back seat. But the cab guy that was driving hit somebody while I was in the cab.
No.
I never told you that story?
No.
All right, so it was me, my brother, and there was other people there, but I can't remember who else was there. But I remember it was me and my brother were there.
Yeah.
And it was at Penn State, and we were taking a cab from wherever we were at. I forget exactly where we were at, downtown.
Yeah.
So we get it, and he was actually taking us to Kildare's at State College. Well, he's pulling down the alley, and, like, he kind of hits somebody in the lower leg hip area, which is like
He hit a person.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I thought you meant a car.
No, he hit a
person.
Yes, a person.
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He hit somebody.
Oh my god!
I didn't mean he got into an accident. I would have said he got into an accident.
I guess when you say someone hit someone, I just assume it's a car.
No, I would have said he got
hit
into
an
an
actual
accident.
person.
He hit a person.
Oh, jeez.
So here's the crazier part. He doesn't stop. In fact, he rolls the window down and starts cursing the guy off as he's driving away.
What?
I swear to God.
What'd you do?
I was like, yo, you can just stop and pull over and let us out here.
Yeah.
We were basically there anyway. We were right there anyway.
We gotta go.
So he was like, all right, fine. Pulls over, boom, get out of the car. Do whatever we had to do.
Yeah.
That's early in the night. This is maybe like 6, 7 o'clock.
Right.
Okay. Well, so we're getting rowdy all night long and everything. Well, it comes time to take a cab back home.
Mm-hmm.
I kid you not. Same guy.
No.
Same guy that we call, same guy pulls up. But now, we've been drinking all night, so now we have kind of an edge to us.
Yeah.
So I go, hey, man, are you the same guy that hit somebody earlier? Yeah, I go, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, listen, you drove us here earlier. You hit somebody in the alley. Now you're driving us home. Don't hit anybody on the way home.
I understand what you did there, but that was a bold move. Anybody that's capable of hitting someone driving away, I'm not saying anything to them.
I mean, I didn't like.
But I get it. I mean, you were in the bag a little bit, feeling good.
Oh yeah, but yeah, that's the story of
That's wild.
Yeah.
Literally, I mean, you did the right thing going down there. I would have been out of there. I would have been like, let me out here. I don't care. I would have got another cab. I'm out.
I mean, like we were literally less than a block, block and a half, maybe tops.
Yeah.
From where we were going, it was not. We covered the vast majority of where we had to go to. That's a story of me. Like I said, no, if it would have been another car, I would have said he got into an accident.
Right.
Well, when I mean he hit somebody,
Yeah, you literally
he hit a human being.
That's wild.
I could have swore I've told this story before.
So we've been very slanderous of Wawa on this show, rightfully so.
I was going to say they
Rightfully
well
so.
deserved.
Well deserved, and like I don't want to pick on them, but they're making some questionable decisions.
What did they do?
Here's the latest questionable decision. I just saw a commercial for Wawa last night,
Okay.
and Wawa has now gotten to the cheeseburger business.
Now you know this is a business. This is a business
Why? This
is a business that I spend a lot of time in.
Me also.
So
And listen, it's so outrageous that I gotta try it. I know what it's probably gonna be going into it.
garbage.
But the idea, we've all seen the back of a Wawa. They don't have any grills back there.
No.
Like where are you cooking these cheeseburgers? Are we gonna throw it in the oven? You're gonna oven cheeseburger me? Like what? Like I don't understand the thought process behind getting Wawa. Sometimes you gotta focus on things that you do well. And Wawa used to be really good at the lunch meat sandwiches. They were really good at those, the hoagies. Get back to that. Why are you getting in the cheeseburger business? It's an extremely questionable decision on their part. I would not for them. If I'm Wawa, I don't feel like I need to be introducing any new items. Because most of the new items they've introduced over the past 5 years have been straight trash truck juice. Like burritos.
Leave it up to Sheets to do all that.
Stop.
They need to just make the sandwiches.
Make the sandwiches.
Just go back to making the sandwiches. Keep the sizzlies coming.
I love the pepperoni and cheese with the honey mustard and the bagel.
Yes.
We need that. No burgers.
I don't want the burgers. I don't want – keep the soup.
Yes.
Keep the soup.
Yes. Love the chicken noodle soup.
Keep that. I don't need –
the meatballs.
Meatballs are –
Meatball man.
It's my favorite thing to have there. So
yeah,
definitely
I love
keep the
meatballs.
But
But that's not – we don't need that. We didn't ask you for that, in other words. If I want a burger –
you still have brisket now, right?
I did. But I'm not eating brisket at Wawa.
No.
I'm not doing that.
Actually,
and the burger is that's the last place I'm going to go for a burger is Wawa. It's not even on the radar of the things I'm thinking about. I would venture to say the fast food burgers are the lowest on the chain. I'm going there before I even think about you. I don't care if you're over 24 hours. I'm getting a burger from McDonald's, Wendy's, or Burger King before I even think about going to Wawa for a burger. It's just not happening. I mean, I'm going to do it because I got to try it now.
I don't even go to Wawa when I'm hungry.
No, Wawa's the last resort now for me. It's only the only time.
It's to the point that I'd almost rather not eat than go to Wawa.
That's a bold statement. For me, it's like the New Year's Eves, the Thanksgivings, the Christmases, where everything else is closed and Wawa's your only option. Yeah. That's kind of where they are now. Where Wawa used to be in the top 5 dead or alive for me.
Oh, yeah.
Wawa used to be a place that used to be part of my night routine. I used to go to Wawa and get a sandwich after a night out. But no more. Mm-mm. They're not that's it's now one of those things where it's I guess I go to Wawa. That's my energy. I'm not doing it.
I'm right there with you.
But yeah, burgers, come on, bro.
I checked the tracking on my margaritas hat.
It's almost here?
Be here tomorrow.
Are you gonna rock it on the air?
I don't know.
I want to see it up close.
I don't think it'll come before the show tomorrow, so it'll probably be for Friday's show. But I will rock it for Friday's show.
You have changed the trajectory of my summer outfits. I will be rocking a Vibes jersey down the beach.
I'm very, very happy about that.
I'm rocking a Vibes jersey with a matching fitted down the beach. And if I don't get stopped, I'm going to be insulted. Somebody better stop me and say, "Where'd you get that?" I'm going to direct them back here to the show and, Justin Emery, he's your minor league guy.
The vibes.
You're not a minor league guy.
I'm the minor league guy.
Minor league man.
Minor league man. I need that. The jerseys. Don't get me wrong. The Margaritas jersey's cool.
Yeah.
The jerseys, they don't. Some of them pop very well.
Yes.
Like
I agree.
the Vibes jersey.
The Vibes jersey.
That one pops very
amazing.
well.
Yes.
Not every jersey pops as well as the hat does.
I agree.
Like for example, I'm on the lookout. If anybody can find me one, the Las Vegas 51s.
Yeah.
I need one of them.
You
But
can't find it online?
well, they're the Aviators now. They're no longer the 51s.
Oh.
So it's merchandise.
go underground.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time I'm finding some stuff, but not
not
what
a
I'm
lot.
not what I'm looking for.
How long ago were they with the 51s?
2 or 3 seasons.
Oh yeah, she should be able to find that somewhere.
I mean, like I said, I'm getting some stuff,
But
but
not
not what I'm looking for. But their jerseys are jerseys that I want. The 51s.
Yeah.
How about that lowrider hat I showed you?
That's insane.
Lowriders.
That's nice.
Fresno.
That's a nice hat, and it makes sense for they got some nice merch out there. Somebody in the marketing department for minor league baseball is winning.
Oh, hard.
Winning. Big
Winning.
time.
Let me pull up my sheet. I wanted to run down some of these other names for you. So you should be on the lookout for.
Oh, we got some more names.
Got some more names on you before we dive back into some basketball. So you looked at the Trash Pandas. Obviously mentioned that.
Yes.
The mint juleps I told you about.
Yes.
Okay, you got your search browser up.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready to go.
Okay, the Scranton Melon Heads.
What?
Look it up. Look it up.
Scranton Melonheads? What is this? Are they double A, I guess?
I have no idea.
Who are they affiliated with?
Don't know.
First thing that comes up, Scranton Melonheads hat.
Need that.
Look at a melon head.
I know.
Look at you.
They are extremely hard to come by.
They are. Why is that?
They sell out. I mean, like they're difficult.
Yeah, that's and these are like new era hats too.
Oh, they're the official hats of baseball.
Yo, you have opened me up to a whole subculture.
Hey, ready? Got another one for you.
Okay.
Here, these guys have a couple different ones
Okay.
to choose from. The Montgomery Biscuits.
Oh man, these names are legendary. Montgomery Biscuits.
Yes.
Montgomery Biscuits hat pops right up. Ooh, look at the biscuits. Wait, is that the hat? I don't think it's the right hat.
They have a couple different ones. They have a couple
Well, I
different
see.
ones.
No, that's the bolts. I don't want the bolts. Here it is. Are the yellow ones?
They have like I said, they have a couple different ones.
Oh, I like the yellow one. Ooh, look at the T-shirt to match with it. Yo, these. What? Wait, they sell them at Macy's? Macy's has Montgomery Biscuit hats?
They
what is
might.
that?
I don't know.
They do.
I got another one for you.
Macy's. Add to the
Oh,
bag.
they do.
Look at Macy's with the Montgomery Biscuits.
Very nice. Got another one for you. You ready?
Okay.
The Charlotte Pitmasters.
Oh, this better have barbecue written all over it.
Oh, it does. Got a brisket sandwich with a baseball bat, pointing like he's Babe Ruth.
I like it.
Look at that. The Charlotte Pitmasters.
Charlotte Pitmasters.
Pull that up there.
Oh, yeah.
See that? Orioles. It's got some Orioles colors going on in there. You see that?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Orioles fans out there, it can match your color scheme a
Yeah,
little bit.
definitely. I wonder if they affiliated.
I-
Is there a minor league team? It might be.
Well, I can.
That looks strangely close to the Orioles colors.
Yeah, I mean it's not because I'm familiar with the Orioles minor
Yeah.
league system.
Yeah.
And it's not in there, but they got a lot of Orioles colors in there. Here, got another one for you.
Okay.
You ready? The cannolis.
The cannolis.
The cannolis.
Where are they from?
They are from Staten Island.
Makes sense.
The
Staten Island cannolis. Yo, you know what would be cool? Like being like playing actually for a minor league team and having the ability to collect like a lot of these like if you were a guy that's well traveled in minor leagues, being able to collect a lot of this stuff and a lot of this merch. Yeah, look at the cannolis.
Oh, look at the cannolis.
Love it. Love to see it.
Got two more for you.
Okay.
Okay, you ready? The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. Oh, I lied to you. I got three more for you. The Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp.
Jumbo shrimp.
Check that one out. They actually have 2 or 3 different hats in their hat scheme that I like, including one that has the best name.
Well, I love the color scheme here. The blue,
Dr.
the red.
Cocktail Sauce. Scroll down. There's a
That's
Dr.
a hat?
Look at it. Yeah, Dr. Cocktail Sauce right there.
Wait, is this it?
Here, let me see. No. You gotta go to the. Oh, you gotta go to their website. Go to their official.
The official website.
The official website.
The cocktail.
Because that's how you can see their alternative ones. So here, let me pull it up here for you. Boom, boom. Go to caps. Fitted. Here we go. Right there. The yellow and blue one.
Oh, that's sweet.
Look at that.
That's sweet. I love the colors too.
And then
Those
if you
are good
scroll
colors.
down a couple
I like the red. The red one. The red one and the blue really catch my eye. That's sick. Ooh, look at this one right here. Ooh, they got a lot of good merch.
They got 2 or 3.
These hats
4
are cheap too. $12. $12. The alternative one, 12. I got 18 for alternative. I guess the main ones are $36 one. $36 one.
Yeah, that's probably the main one that they have. Okay, right. How's this one? The Columbia Fireflies. Now here's something about their hat. You ready for this one?
I'm ready.
Glows in the dark.
I don't
Look
know
at
why I would ever need to use a glow in the dark hat, but
I
okay.
ju-
I can tell by the logo. It's kind of like that Seattle Seahawks colors
Yes.
a little bit.
Yes, they're affiliate of the Royals.
Okay. You have nice color. I like that.
Then I'm trying to find somebody tweeted me a whole bunch of them yesterday. I'm trying to find the one that I wanted to save. It was a macaroni and cheese hat. Yeah.
A lot of food. Well, minor league stadiums have really good food. Like if you've been to a minor league stadium, they take care of you with the grub. I've been to a couple Iron Pig games, and they do a good job up there. It's good food. But, we're going to go ahead and take a break, and when we come back, we're going to get into –
I'll find that hat during the break.
Yeah, we're going to
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Okay.
The Kalamazoo Mac Daddies.
These names are insane.
There it is.
We're going to get into the power rankings of the NBA.
Little
And-
disrespectful.
A little bit. But, we're used to it at this point. Brad Memory in the morning. Marcus Brad Memory. Be right back. Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time.
Hey, everybody. I want to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet. 110 Lincoln Highway in Langhorne, right at the corner of Business Route 1 and Oxford Valley Road. Check them out online at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne. Use promo code BREMI for 10% off your orders. You can check out, they have all sorts of them. Everything you could think of beef jerky, they have. They have a ton of other stuff too. Spices, barbecue sauces, peanuts, all different kind of things. My personal favorite, the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Head up there. Sharon and Michael will take great care of you. Again, use promo code BREMI for 10% off your order at beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorne.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, and taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000. Brad Emery morning. Marcus Brad, I'm Justin Emery. So let's get into this. Back to the NBA. We had Justin Grasser on earlier, answer some questions for us regarding the Sixers, but we'll look around the NBA. The power rankings come out every month or so, and
The one that I looked at, they break it down every Monday.
okay, but I guess I'll rephrase that. It's I only pay attention to it monthly,
Right.
something like that, just because if you do it every week, you obsess over it, and it's not going to change much from day to day.
The main thing that caught my eye is how low the Sixers were.
Yeah.
I don't check it all the time, but I saw people mentioning it, so it caught my eye.
Right.
So I decided to dive into it.
Okay.
This is from NBA.com, their official website.
Credible source, obviously.
Number 1, Jazz.
Yeah, I mean, I think.
I mean, they have the best record.
Yeah, they deserve to be there because they have. You can't say they haven't been the best team in the NBA up till now.
Well, actually, so they're number 1. Before I give you everyone else,
Okay.
so no, the Sixers were ranked 6th. Okay,
Yeah.
so 5 teams above them.
Right.
Can you think of, it's off the top of your head, 5 teams that are above them that deserve
I can't think
to
of 5 that deserve to be above the Sixers right now. No.
Okay, so number 2.
In my opinion, they should be 2.
Okay, I'll reveal. In my opinion, you can make a case for 4. You could have them as low as 4.
Okay.
And I would say I wouldn't have a problem with it. 5 or 6, I disagree with. But like I said, you can be as low as 4, and I'll give you the remaining teams.
Okay.
Number 2 was Brooklyn.
I mean, we know that. We talk about. We know how this is. I mean, this is what the NBA wants. The NBA wants Brooklyn versus Lakers in the finals. That's what they want.
Okay, number 3, the Lakers.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, they've struggled the past couple weeks. Definitely, they've definitely come down to earth. They got off to a great start, but they've definitely shown chinks. A lot of it, I'm sure, has to do with Anthony Davis' injuries and stuff. But I'm not mad at them being there. I think the Sixers deserve to be ahead of them, especially right now. Sixers are top in the East right now. They're up a half a game in Brooklyn, but they're top team in the East right now.
Number 4, the Phoenix Suns.
Phoenix has gotten hot. Phoenix got off to a mediocre start, but Phoenix has gotten very hot. I don't know about 4. I mean, I think that's. I don't think, even though they beat the Sixers, I don't think they're a better team than the Sixers. If that makes any sense. I don't think they're better than them at all. I think if the Sixers played Phoenix in a 7-game series, Sixers win that series. I don't think Phoenix is. Phoenix is a nice story. It's a nice feel-good story, but they got a lot of young players surrounded. Like Devin Booker's been around for a while, but he's never had to play in important games like this. Ayton is inconsistent, and then you got a bunch of guys that have not had to play anywhere level they're gonna have to play to be a team that goes deep in the playoffs. So I don't think they should be there.
I mean, I'm not sure there's a single team that I'm picking over the Sixers in a 7-game series. That's beside the point, though.
Right.
5th, we have the Clippers.
No, I don't. I mean, I don't think they've been better than the Sixers this year. If you're going by, see, here's the thing. It's almost like.
I mean, it's just when you have they have the best record in the East. They have so back to what I said about why I would let them be up to as low as 4 is when you put the East and the West together, they have the 4th record. So obviously they're number 1 in the East, and they'd be 4th in, overall. So I'll give you the Jazz. I'll give you the Lakers. And I don't think that the Nets should be above them. But if you really want to put the Nets above them because on paper the Nets should be above them, like that's fine. I'll give you that because of how top-heavy they are.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you the Clippers, and I'm not giving you the Suns.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I think the Sixers now, I think they're being punished for the fact the NBA kind of, even though you have the issue with the process like that, the NBA for the past couple years The Sixers have been the darlings of the NBA. They've been one of those teams that were constantly on national television. They were projected to go to the finals a couple times. And the NBA is kind of like, okay, you had your moment in the sun. Now we're going to backseat you a little bit. Because you look at the Sixers national TV-wise. They haven't been on national TV nearly as much as they've been the past couple years. Sixers were on national TV probably like once every 2 weeks.
If people had the Lakers above the Sixers, would you complain about that?
If the Sixers were lower, no.
I'm saying number one is the Jazz. They have the best record. Give it to them. They have the best record.
Right.
Number two was the Lakers. Would you have a problem with that?
I mean, I guess, yeah. Now I think about it, because Sixers beat the Lakers. So if we're going by logic, so let's say Phoenix is there because Phoenix beat the Sixers head-to-head. Well, the Sixers beat the Lakers head-to-head. Why are they not ahead of the Lakers? If that's your logic. You're being inconsistent.
Like I said, 6 is too low.
Yeah.
3, 4, that's fine. Because, like you said, Jazz have the best record. By default, give them number one, even though, like I said, in a 7-game series.
Yeah.
Hold on.
You didn't have Embiid when you played them either.
No. With the Nets, I understand why they're number 2. Whatever, just give them number 2.
Yeah.
I don't care. Now you're number 3.
Now the argument I think should begin for the Sixers.
Yeah. You're looking at, like I had said, above them you have the Lakers.
Right.
I mean, they're the defending champions, but just because you're the defending champions does not mean necessarily that you should be the top, one of the top power ranked teams in Week 10.
Yes, I agree.
Clippers, no. Suns, no.
Right.
So, like I said, if you put the Lakers at 3 and the Sixers at 4, I'm not gonna kill you over it. But like you said, 3, 4, that's where they need to be pegged at, not at 6.
No, I think that's disrespectful. Especially right now, they're the best team in the East. They have the best record in the Eastern Conference.
And I was looking through the record of the Eastern Conference because let me pull that up. I was checking it out pre-show. I was checking it out pre-show. There's no one. Like, they should be able to, as long as they can stay one of the top 2 seeds. Because you got to assume Brooklyn will get one of the 2 seed.
Yeah.
And whereas you don't have to draw Brooklyn until the Eastern Conference Finals.
That's what you want.
If you can get yourself into that position, you should be able to almost sleepwalk yourself to the Eastern Conference Finals. Because the 3 seed, the Bucks.
Yeah.
We've both said this many times.
Right.
Not worried about them.
No.
The 4 seed, Pacers. No. 5 Raptors. No. 6 Celtics. You've had problems with them in the past, but Kemba is clearly damaged goods.
Right.
Tatum, he's a great player, but he's not superhuman like we thought he was. Jaylen Brown, very good player, but I don't know if he's not Superman either.
Yeah.
None of them can handle Embiid, though.
Right.
What it comes down to is, will Ben Simmons
Sixers
be able
have
to...
a very different mentality playing this team this year. They're a very different philosophy. They're a different basketball team.
Yeah. 7 Knicks, no. 8 Bulls, no. 9 Hornets. I'm just giving you the next one in case they bump up. Hornets, absolutely not.
According to the new rules, I think it's 6 through 10. So right now, the 6 through 10, they'll be in the
so Hornets, no.
Series.
Heat, no.
I mean, listen, we talked about this before. I don't want to see the Heat in the first round. I don't want to deal with that headache. I mean, I know the Sixers will beat them in a 7-game series, but that's going to be a hard series. It's not going to be. They're not going to sweep them. So I don't want a team. I want to see in the first round. I want the Sixers to see a team like the Bulls.
Well, let me go over to the
Magic. I want to see the Hornets. I don't want to see the Heat or the Celtics or the Raptors or a team like that.
Well, let me go over to the West.
Okay.
Okay. Real quick. Say the season ended today.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have the Jazz play the Warriors, Clippers play the Nuggets, Lakers, Blazers, Suns, Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you those 8 teams again. Jazz, Clippers, Lakers, Suns, Spurs, Blazers, Nuggets, Warriors.
Right.
Any of them worry you in 7 games?
No. No, not at all.
Like the only thing about the Nuggets in a 7-game series is that they're an extremely annoying team to play against.
Yeah.
Joker is an extremely infuriating player to play against, and Murray is an extremely infuriating player to play against.
Yes.
So the Nuggets can give them problems just based off of that. They're annoying.
And Murray
to play.
Murray's one of those guys could not show up and then give you 50.
Yeah, he could.
He
could
drop.
drop.
He could
go
one game.
9 points in the game 1 and go for 55 in game 2.
Right.
But I'm not worried about it. Like the Sixers are built right now to make a push. That I think that if they can just keep playing this way and add something to the bench, at some point in time, nice little bench piece or something.
Right.
We could be looking at the championship team. We might be having a parade this summer. Maybe not on boats like we want it to happen, but we could be having a parade.
I mean, yeah. I mean, this is a good year because even though the Nets, I feel like, haven't fully figured it out, and they're going to need an offseason to get some more pieces. I just don't think we talk about. I think they're too top heavy. The Lakers, it's just so hard to repeat. It's just a hard thing to do. They're going to be in the conversation always, but I feel confident playing them in 7-game series, just like the rest of these teams. So I agree with you. But we're going to take a break, and when we come back, I want to get into, for a little bit, Odubel Herrera's return to the Phillies and, the reaction of his return to the Phillies. Brad Murray in the morning, Marques Brown, Justin Emery, be right back. Brad Murray in the morning, Marques Brown, Justin Emery. So Odubel Herrera is not been given a spot. He was with the team last year. They gave him a
mini camp
look last year, but this year he's getting a upgraded look because
he's in the mini camp this year again.
Right. Well, number one, it seems to me this year he's gonna probably make the team. They need help in the outfield. They need the hitting. And he provides.
All reports are that he's looking very good.
He provides those things for them, and something that he would be a welcome bat in the lineup. Now, he was gone because of the things that happened back in, I think it was 2018 or 2019. I think it was 2018.
I think it was 19.
It was 19. With his girlfriend and the domestic violence and all that stuff. Here's my problem, is that there's a lot of people out there, and the team's been pretty good. Reese Hoskins said something. Aaron Nola said talk about second chances. The team's been pretty good about it. But whenever the media usually gets involved in stuff like this, it's always like he shouldn't be allowed to come back. He shouldn't be allowed to play. He shouldn't be allowed to come back when it comes to stories like this. here's the thing. Do you like? For me, I hate this because it's like, do we give this same energy to a doctor if a domestic violence incident is committed, or something off color takes place off work hours, or a lawyer, or someone who's on someone who does on a trash truck? Do we care the same way about an athlete and them getting second chances? Like, here's the deal. What he did was terrible. Obviously, we don't condone that. Like, you should never, ever put your hands on a woman at any point, ever. It should never happen. However, he did this. He made a mistake. He's atoned. I feel like it's fair to give him an opportunity to earn his job back. Like, he lost a lot because of this. Like, he got dropped from the team. He had a contract. I'm sure making good money. He was set on a roster, and he lost all that because of what he did, rightfully so. But let's give him a chance to figure it out and see if he has rehabilitated himself. Is he a different person? I don't understand the notion of no, can't do it, won't do it, when, like I said, when other professions, you don't look at things the same way. Like a doctor doesn't lose their job because of something like this. A lawyer doesn't lose their job because of something like this. You're not going to be like, no, they're out forever. It doesn't happen. So what's the difference between an athlete? Like, it's not their fault. This is the profession they chose. Like, people look at professional sports as a privilege, but something that's not actually their job. Like, yeah, it's awesome you get to make all that money, and have that fame and fortune, but these people have worked really hard to get in these positions. That's the reason why a professional athlete, there's only like 0.5% of them makes up the entire population, because it's a really hard thing to do. These people didn't just wake up and say, I'm going to go play baseball, football, basketball, hockey, and it happened. Like, how many of us have had dreams and aspirations of playing major league sports when we were younger? A lot of us have. I bet you can find a large percentage of kids that looked up and said, I want to be this, that, and the third. How many of them actually make it? Not a lot. So instead of us looking at it like this is something, because he makes all that money, that should be taken away from him, look at it like this is their profession. And they should be allowed. You should be allowed to have opportunities. Now, obviously, this can't happen again, and hopefully it won't happen again. But you can't lose your job because of this.
I mean, there's going to be a lot of blowback to the organization if he makes the team.
Yeah.
They have to know that.
Right.
We joke that the Phillies are clueless, but they have to know that there'll be blowback about
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah, no question.
You just got to be prepared for it. Personally, he's not a good enough. Like, when you have guys that you're going to bring in like this, they're going to cause a headache for you. You have to know that. He's not a good enough player to cause the headache, in my opinion. So that's a lot of the pushback that I think people like. If he was, I mean, I'm really out with who if he was Mike Trout.
Yeah, Fernando Tatis.
Yeah, if he was one of those guys.
Right.
Completely different outlook. Or completely different.
But isn't that like terrible to think? Because like Ray Rice, for instance, the Ray Rice incident, right?
Yeah, I said this.
And when this all happened, I said I think we're probably gonna be on the same page with this. Ray Rice didn't get a job not because of what he did. He didn't get a job because he wasn't good enough anymore.
Yeah.
He lost his ability to play football at a high level. Like, Greg Hardy is a terrible person and got jobs for years still after doing horrific, horrible things. Google it. Look it up. Like, he's a terrible person. And I can go through a list of people. Kareem Hunt.
Oh, yeah.
The Tyreek Hill incident. Adrian Peterson. But all of those people that I'm mentioning were all still elite athletes. So they're looked at differently than a guy like Odubel Herrera, who is, he's not where Ray Rice is. He still has something to give, but, he's not those levels of athletes we're speaking of. So I just feel like it's such with so many things, it's just a double standard. And
I mean, there is.
Yeah. It's got, I mean, at the end of the day, if the Phillies are going to take him
Some of that, though, comes upon having a profession that's in the public's eye.
Yeah.
Like you said, doctors and lawyers and even trash truck drivers, like you said, those people aren't necessarily under public scrutiny.
Yeah.
So they don't necessarily have to deal with the court of public opinion.
True. That's a good point.
So
it's a good point. Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the things that
like I said,
they signed up for.
if you're gonna bring in a guy like this, you're gonna have some blowback.
Absolutely.
Even with his teammates, I'm sure he's gonna have some blowback.
Oh yeah, I'm sure some people are uncomfortable with this, and like
there's recently. I know we got to get out of here in a second.
Yeah.
But there was the big incident with the player from the Yankees. Don't know his name, but he had a similar incident with the Yankees. A similar incident, as a player, and he plays for the Yankees.
Right.
Well, one of the other Yankees players said something, paraphrasing. I don't support what he did, obviously, but this is the job, and just like you can't choose your coworkers, you can't choose your teammates.
Yeah.
That's kind of the end of the quote that he had.
No, yeah, no, I'm with you. And like, I don't know. It's just like I said. I just feel like
it's just like I said. If you're gonna do this, Odubel's not the guy to do it for, because he also has on the field questions as being aloof and all. Like Odubel's not. If you're gonna do this for someone, Odubel's not the guy you do it for.
Right.
So that's my take on it.
Yeah, I understand that. I just look at it like, hopefully, if it wasn't here, I would hope he get an opportunity to get his job somewhere else. It doesn't have to be here, but I don't think he should be able to lose his job because of that. But listen, we're going to get out of here. Great show as usual. Follow me at Marcus B. Tweeting everywhere.
Catch me at Justin Emery Show.
Brad M. Emery Pod everywhere. And until next time, you can be with us, you can be against us, but you're never going to stop us. Late.